Hey folks, Cody Noe here again from Fight Designer LLC, and just a quick update on something a little different from mocap for a while, in part because one of the things I'm trying to do with mocap, some of it involves other people that I'm waiting on, and some of it involves my 3D printer, which I currently can't figure out why it keeps jamming. It's something going wrong with that, I don't know. I've spent a couple hours on it already and it keeps doing the same thing, so I don't know. So I'm going to stick with some mechanical things for now, some physical things, because those are a lot easier for me and my old brain to understand sometimes than things like software and electronics. So I wanted to talk a little bit about mats. One of the projects that I've been meaning to finish, and this being summer, I finally get to go back and finish some of them, is a crash mat. I have these mats that I made when I was in Seattle a good 15 years ago now, something like that. Oof. That I've used periodically as a coordinator or when teaching fights or things like that. And they've been pretty useful because your standard gym mats just aren't cushy enough for doing anything at all big. And I made these originally to fit in the backseat of my Honda Accord that I had at the time. I haven't had that car in a while now. And I can fit something a little bit bigger in my Forester. And someone was giving away some memory foam mattress topper wedge things. And I found a good clearance deal on some vinyl at Joann's, so I figured, you know, maybe it's time to make another crash mat. So I did. Now these were the original ones that I made, and just got a little splattered because it was where I was working on some paper mache for masks. But these were a couple inches of softer foam and then a layer of the harder, firmer closed cell foam like you use for backpack mats or whatever, and some vinyl from Pacific Fabric Outlet, which I think doesn't exist anymore, but used to be in South Seattle. And if you stack them, you can do a decent job of bit break and a fall. That's what I'll put all together, maybe like a 6-incher or something like that. I did find that the cover itself does actually give a little bit of padding just because it works kind of like an airbag, as it takes air a little while to squish it out. But, you know, these have gotten some holes in them over the years. There's some places where I've had to add some tape to try and keep them together because someone's poked holes in them, falling on them while holding something in their pocket or whatever. I can mop up the mess here. So they're still at least sort of usable, but they're not great. The grips have ripped off, et cetera, et cetera. So this time around, I did try to do my best job of stitching these, but it's not perfect. It's weird fabric. They stretch differently, the two different kinds of vinyl, and I am not the world's best at this. So I did go over and some of the longer seams, then I also just contact adhesive attached little strips of vinyl to help clean up those a little bit and protect those so that they don't pull apart while keeping it flexible. One of the other changes I made is instead of just sewing these grips onto the vinyl itself, I put some webbing straps all the way around the foam inside this, all the way through. So there's actually loops of webbing the whole width of the mat, so that when you pull on this and lift it, it'll lift up on those straps and not just on the outer layer of vinyl itself, which would make it more likely to break. The foam that I used, I cut it down a little bit just to make it a little easier to fit in my car. But someone had been giving away for free some of this memory foam stuff. It was memory foam wedge mattress toppers. They were I want to say 6 or 7 inches thick at one end, and then this was the narrow end that I cut off of both. So I just kind of stacked the two wedges side by side and ended up with about an 8-incher, which is one of the standard lengths of crash mat that you'd want anyway. With my previous mats, what I did was I put a layer of closed cell sort of backpack camping mat foam on the top as well, because I wanted something thicker. With those, I think the last one I used softer foam that was maybe, 3 inches thick, something like that. It was meant to be sort of like a mattress for the back of your camper. And at that thickness especially, and that softer foam, it's really easy for like an elbow or something to spike through that when you're falling. So I wanted a denser, thicker material to make sure that you didn't go all the way through and just go thump into the pavement below or whatever. This time, because it's thicker and because the memory foam's a little bit denser, I don't seem to have that issue. I wasn't worried about it. I did not add a thicker foam layer to these. How often am I actually going to use these? depends on how often I get hired to actually coordinate my own stuff, my own fights. It's only been a few times in the last couple of years, but it's also been COVID the last couple of years. Who knows? What's going to make the cut next time I have to make a move and move a house or whatever? Again, who knows? Because these do take up a lot of room. But if nothing else, it's a great way to be able to practice at home. When you have a time like I do. We're coming back from a recent stunt training. I said, oof, I need to do more of this, especially my neck. I don't do enough neck exercises. And so when I do some harder falls, I feel it in my neck for a couple of days. And so I need to maybe either find some regular neck exercises I can do that aren't just flexibility but neck strength, or just do a lot more fall practice, which probably isn't a bad idea either when I got decent enough weather to set these up outside. Seems to work fine. Kids have also enjoyed jumping from the slack line onto it in the front yard, so survived that as well. And I figure if it can hold the weight of a overweight, out of shape old man like me, it'll work a lot fine for people who are younger and more athletic, who tend to be the people who are actually doing the fight scenes and stuff with all the falls. People who are a little closer to their prime maybe than I am. So, whatever you do, safety always comes first. Mats are just a part of that, but they're an important part and a great tool to have in your arsenal. So, whether it's through mats or anything else, play safe, have fun, stay sane, stay healthy. COVID is real, folks. I'm getting a little worried about Combat Con in Vegas in a couple of weeks. We'll see. I've managed to avoid COVID so far, knock on wood. I'm hoping to keep it that way. So if you see me there, awesome. Happy to give you a hug. I'm going to be masked up, though, just so you know. If anybody's still interested in Combat Con, let me know. I've got a little discount code I can send you. I'll put a link down below. All right, until next time. Thanks.